Murder and mystery in South Carolina, a timeline of the Murdaugh family killings. But in recent years, the family has been closely connected to bloody tragedy. There was a fatal boating crash in 2019, the killings of 2 family members in June, the shooting of a family member last week, and allegations of fraud and drug abuse. No one has yet been arrested in the shootings, but authorities have pledged to get to the bottom of them. And the investigation has taken them in unexpected directions. While looking into the killings, investigators decided to reopen an unsolved death case from 2015. Here's a timeline of what we know about the Murdaugh family's illustrious history: the killings of Margaret Murdaugh and her son Paul, the shooting of Alex Murdaugh last week, and the course of the investigation throughout. 1920-2006. Over 3 generations, a member of the Murdaugh family serves as the 14th Circuit Solicitor, which leads prosecutions for Allendale, Beaufort, Colleton, Hampton, and Jasper counties in the southern part of South Carolina. Randolph Murdaugh Sr. is elected to the 14th Circuit Solicitor's office in 1920 and serves in the position until his death in 1940.
His son Randolph Murdaugh Jr. then takes over the position and serves until his retirement in 1986. His son Randolph Murdaugh III then is elected to the role in 1987 and serves through the end of 2005. In 2006, then Mark Sanford appoints attorney Duffy Stone to serve as the 14th Circuit Solicitor, making him the first non-Murdaugh in the position. He has been elected to the position 3 times since, most recently in 2016. 2019: 6 people were on board the boat at the time of the crash, including 19-year-old Paul T. Murdaugh. His father, Alex Murdaugh, a local attorney and the son of Randolph Murdaugh III, owns the boat. Stone, the 14th Circuit Solicitor, recuses himself from the case because of the personal connections. Paul Murdaugh was indicted in April on charges of boating under the influence, causing great bodily harm and causing death in connection to the crash, court records show. He pleads not guilty. June 7, 2021. Alex Murdaugh, 53, calls 911 and reports he found his wife Margaret, 52, and son Paul, then 22, shot dead outside of their home in Islandtown, a small community about an hour north of Hilton Head Island, according to the South Carolina Law Enforcement Division. Colleton County Sheriff's deputies determined both victims had multiple gunshot wounds. June 10. Randolph Murdaugh III dies peacefully at his home at age 81, according to his obituary. June 15. SLED releases basic information about the killings on June 7, saying Alex Murdaugh had called 911 at 10:07 p.m. and investigators collected evidence that night and the next morning. We continue to pursue all leads and the investigation is certainly active and ongoing at this time, the agency said. We will continue to submit all forensic evidence to SLED's forensic lab. SLED is committed to conducting a professional and thorough criminal investigation to bring justice in the deaths of Paul and Maggie. June 17. Alex Murdaugh's brothers, John Marvin Murdaugh and Randolph Randy Murdaugh IV, speak to Good Morning America about the killings. They say Alex called them distraught with the news that his wife and son had been shot. They say they do not believe their brother is involved. My brother loved Maggie and loved Paul like nothing else on this earth, just like he loves Buster, Randy told GMA. So there's no possible way he could have anything to do with this, I can assure you. June 21. SLED acknowledges the interest in the case and asks the public to withhold judgment until the investigation is complete. The division also releases redacted copies of supplemental incident reports from the Colleton County Sheriff's Office. This case is complex, and we will not rush this or any investigation. Investigative decisions we make throughout this case must withstand the scrutiny of the criminal justice process. SLED agents continue to interview possible witnesses, collect and process potential evidence, and investigate every lead with the same diligence we devote to every case, SLED Chief Mark Keel said in a statement. SLED agents are working tirelessly with our partners to build a case against any person responsible for the murders of Paul and Maggie Murdaugh to ensure that justice is served, Keel added. Stone, the 14th Circuit Solicitor, releases a statement saying it is neither prudent nor proper to comment on the case and says that his office will act promptly and ethically if conflicts of interest arise in the case. He notes there is no clear suspect in the double killing and contrasts that with Paul Murdaugh's 2019 boating case. That was not the situation when I recused my office in the aftermath of the 2019 boating crash for which Paul Murdaugh was eventually charged, Stone said in the statement. In that case, it was immediately apparent Mr. Murdaugh would be a suspect, that his father owned the boat in which those involved were traveling and that other passengers were related to employees of my office. Thus, any comparison of these cases simply is not apparent. June 22 – June 25 Alex Murdaugh and his other son, Buster, announce a $100,000 reward for information leading to the conviction of the person or persons responsible for the killings of Margaret and Paul, according to WCSC. July 22 SLED releases redacted audio of Alex Murdaugh's 911 call the night of the killings. In the audio, a distraught Murdaugh advises dispatchers his wife and son had been shot, are on the ground and are not breathing. August 11 Despite his earlier statement, 14th Circuit Solicitor Stone writes a letter to South Carolina Attorney General Alan Wilson saying he intends to recuse himself from the Murdaugh death investigations. WCSC reports. He writes that the request comes considering the events of today in SLED's investigation but does not provide further details. Friday, September 3 Alex Murdaugh resigns from the law firm Peters, Murdaugh, Parker, Eltzroff, and Dietrich, according to the firm. Saturday, September 4 Murdaugh calls 911 and reports he was shot early Saturday afternoon on a road in Hampton County, according to a statement from SLED spokesperson Tommy Crosby. He was taken to a hospital in Savannah, Georgia, where he was treated for a superficial gunshot wound to the head, the statement said. At this time no arrests have been made, the statement said. Monday, September 6.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe